We have a new featherweight champion in Ilia Topuria who just beat and knocked out Alexander the Great Volkanovski, who is one of the GOATs of the featherweight division in the UFC. But the real question is like, what is next for Ilia Topuria? Because he himself said that he will not give a title shot to Yair Rodrigues, to Brian Ortega, or even Max Holloway. And there is multiple approaches. People are like, oh, I just don't want to fight them because they are a threat to him. In a way, you can play that angle, but the real angle is that like Yair, Ortega, and Max have been in the top 5 of featherweight for the last 4 years. Like featherweight, when you get a new champion, you need a new fresh blood. You need a new drama. You need a new storyline. And Yair Rodrigues fought Max Holloway. He fought Volkanovski for the title. Brian Ortega got the title shot against Max Holloway, and then he got the title shot against the Alexander Volkanovski. So it's like you don't want to really put them again into that spotlight because fans already know about them. You need something new. But what do you do, right? The rematch of Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria makes most sense. However, there is the problem, right? Volk is coming off 2 back-to-back huge KOs, and even though he deserves the rematch, I think he should take a rest. I think he should take that approach as DDP, when Dricus du Plessis beat Robert Whittaker and was right next in the title line to fight Adesanya. He was like, nah man, like I just need to recover and then I will fight next. So maybe Volkanovski should like rest, stay back, get healthy, and maybe give his chin time to recover before he gets his rematch. And in the meantime, we can make some fight between Ilia and someone else. But the question is, who is that else? First of all, it's not going to be Yair Rodrigues because he just lost to Brian Ortega. And Brian Ortega, I don't think he really deserves it. Because Brian Ortega has only 2 wins in the last 4 years. And already got 2 title shots and got beaten badly in both of them. So does he really deserve it? That's the question. I think that Brian Ortega needs one more fight in order to put him into the title picture, but he doesn't deserve it either. Now, Max Holloway is fighting Justin Gaethje. That is a lightweight fight, but it's a fight in a completely different division. And honestly, I really don't think that Max Holloway has a huge chances to winning, because here's the thing, right? The problem is that if Max Holloway wins, then he probably can get a title shot against Islam. So why would he go back to featherweight if he wins? If he loses badly, then he'll be like, I don't know, should he go fight Ilia immediately after a bad loss to Justin Gaethje? Or the best scenario is that he has a banger fight with Justin Gaethje, but maybe loses, right? Then you can be like, sure, Max Holloway always brings the fire. He's always entertaining. Let's make him fight with Ilia, because that fight will not go to the ground. Those guys will scrap, and they will scrap hard. So you can make that fight. Or even better, there is even better fight that you can make. If Sean O'Malley beats Chito Vera, then you can make Sean O'Malley versus Ilia Topuria as Ilia's first defense in Spain. First of all, Sean O'Malley is a huge star, and I think the UFC doesn't want to match him with Merab, because Merab, if Kamaru Usman is the CEO of the EPO, then Merab is the founder of EPO, because the dude is just a machine, right? And I think the UFC wants to protect Sean O'Malley. So if Sean O'Malley beats Chito Vera, then Sean O'Malley versus Ilia Topuria, that is a mega fight. And if Sean loses, right, he can go back to bantamweight and, the life goes on. He's still the champ there. But if Sean wins, then you can get a 2-division champ in Sean O'Malley, in a star that you are trying so hard to make. So that could be a banger fight. Merab, in the meantime, he can have an interim title fight. He's been fine with Aljo being a champ. Or there is also another possible fight for Ilia. And if there is Aljo versus Kelvin Kattar, that is flying little under the radar. Sure, we are waiting for that fight, but what if Aljo subs or beats Kelvin Kattar in a dominant fashion, or if Kelvin Kattar just knocks out Aljo, because Aljo has been a champ, right? Then you can throw Kelvin Kattar or Aljo himself against Ilia Topuria. And those are big names. First of all, Kelvin Kattar can become a fresh name for a title contender, right? It's not Yair, it's not Brian, it's not Max. We all know those three. They are big names, but they've been there, right? You can sell Kevin Kattar as the fresh contender. And you can also sell Aljo. Imagine the storyline, right? Becoming a champ, beating Peter Yan, TJ, then losing the title, going a weight class up, beating a guy again. That's like basically like Alex Pereira stories 2.0. It's like those two guys could be great opponents for Ilia Topuria. It's a fresh new blood, and if Ilia beats them, then he can rematch Volkanovski. Or if they beat Ilia, right, and either Kelvin or Aljo become champ, then they can fight Volkanovski. And that's a fresh new blood, fresh new contender that Volkanovski wanted, but he got, he got the menace in Ilia and he paid big for it. But this way, all these matches, all these fights are fun. And not only fun, they are the fights with the big names in the sport. It's not just like random opponents. But here is the problem, right? There is also one worthy contender, and that is Movsar Evloev. He's riding 8-fight winning streak at the moment, but the problem is that all those fights in the UFC were decisions. In the ideal world, there is nothing wrong with the decision, but fans want to see some action. And if you cannot finish a fight, or if you're getting decisions or split decision victories, you might not get that immediate push to the title shot. So Movsar Evloev either needs to fight Brian Ortega before getting the title shot, or Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett could be a good fight with Movsar Evloev. Probably the Josh Emmett is coming off from a huge KO win, but he already lost to Ilia. So I think the Josh Emmett needs one or two solid wins in order to get back to the title contention. So it's what do you do in the ideal world? In the ideal world, if Sean O'Malley beats Chito Vera, you make Sean O'Malley versus Ilia Topuria in Spain. That's a mega fight. Now, if Aljo finishes Kattar, you can make that fight. Because Aljo has the credentials, to be honest, and, that's a doable fight. Same with Kelvin Kattar. Kelvin Kattar is not a small name, and he has some good fights, he has one bad fight against Max Holloway, but he's there, and that's a fresh blood. So, there is many options for Ilia Topuria. I'm ranking number 1, Sean O'Malley. Second, Aljo, winner of Aljo versus Kattar, and third, it's Volkanovski himself. Alexander Volkanovski is still one of the biggest names in the sport, and he rightfully deserves the rematch because he's been a featherweight champ for so many years. He deserves it, but here's the thing. If you are a fan of Volkanovski, you know that he needs some time to rest. You don't want to fight a KO machine like Ilia Topuria again in a short time after you are coming back from back-to-back KOs. You need some time to recover, and you need some time for your chin to heal. Because, once the chin is gone, you don't want to rush the recovery process. So, while Volkanovski is resting and recovering on the benches, studying Ilia more and more, dissecting him and preparing for that coming back mega fight, we can make another mega fight for Ilia between him and Sean O'Malley, or winner of Aljo versus Kattar. Or if Max Holloway himself has a freaking good fight and good scrap with Justin Gaethje, you can also do that to milk Max Holloway one more time. So I would like to know, what do you guys think? If you have any better fireable matchups, better fights, more interesting fights, write it down in the comments below and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers.